What's up, y'all? This is JB, also known as JB Whips. I'm here with No Free Passes, and we're at Unique Automotive, hanging out with Brad. And Brad's going to tell us a little bit about the shop and how it came about.
Yeah, my name's Brad Miser. I started Unique Automotive about 5 years ago. Worked for another gentleman, and we parted ways, and I started my own shop. I always liked cars, had a lot of friends that liked cars. We grew up, in the South. That was a thing, I think. So, what better way to better Nashville, offer a service, have fun, and make money all at the same time. So I started Unique Automotive.
How long have you guys been in business?
We're going into our 5th year. I worked previously, like I said, for a friend of mine, and he and I both have pretty successful shops in the area now, so both of us doing well.
Pretty cool. So what's your favorite car and what kind of got you into cars?
I don't know if I could pick one favorite. I mean, it's hard to say. I think everybody, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you had some Lambo posters on the wall or something like that. Of course, that's dreams. But then to be able to go from dreaming about cars like that to building and working on cars like that is amazing. I try not to take it for granted. You get caught up in life and the frustrations of running a business at times, and you have to take a step back and really look at all that's been accomplished and what you're doing for a living. It's kind of surreal at times.
That seems pretty cool. I mean, everybody this day and age, loves cars, and especially when you look at guys and how much money they put in their cars, or women even too. What's some of the craziest builds that you've ever done?
We deal with a lot of athletes and musicians, so we've got some people that have, I guess what you call young money, disposable income at a young age when they're still out and about and wanting to be seen. So we've had some screens that rose up out of the back of old donks that said, one of them said, "Go hard or go home," for one of our ball players, and had a screen on one side, and it came up with the push of a button, rose up out of the back of a 74 Impala convertible. That was the one that stood out for us. We had we've done some Audis, some big Benzes, Ranges, all that type of stuff. We got to work on some Lambos and Ferraris. That's always fun.
You got it. Yeah. All right, we're with Brad. He's going to take us on a tour. Let's get looking at the whips.
Whip, come on, Trill Entertainment. I'm the dope man. Holla at me, nigga, come on.
Nashville, Tennessee. We're like a better version of Pimp My Ride, except in Tennessee.
We got a big ass shop. This is big.
So basically anything with wheels on it, and a throttle and a motor, we try to make it better. Old stuff, new stuff, Penn stuff, and then old Chevys and American stuff, and then some of the newer Tinder type stuff. This is good. 74 Nova, we did a full frame off on it, basically rebuilt it from the ground up. Been working on that about a year.
That's what I like.
Been on BMW 2003 from the late 70s. And as you can see, we do a lot of Broncos and then some big trucks, diesels, your big diesels back here. Putting a new front end and suspension on this one back here, and a lot of cosmetics on that one. Lift. We've already finished most of this. Some paint work, bumper, winch, all your off-road type stuff.
So Brad, you guys do everything here?
We do everything here.
Audio, video, motor, everything's in-house.
Minor paint and body, audio, video, motor. We've got our paint shop being built out back. It's not finished yet, so should have that done in about a month. And yeah, we're a one-stop shop. Anything you can imagine or dream up, we can build it.
What even got you into cars or into owning your own business?
Other
than wanting to be your own boss, whichever it is.
Hey, it's overrated sometimes, but I was always entrepreneurial. I had a landscaping company, I had a small trucking company, and just I made some bad decisions early on in life, and I was kind of limited as to what I could do, unfortunately. So I you know, make or break, and so I decided, you know, hey, I'm going to make a positive out of it, succeed. And, you know, we all have mistakes. We all make mistakes, learning from them. I think what I came up with after all my experiences, well, I'll just tell you, I did 7 years in the state and federal penitentiary, 2 years state, 5 years federal for drug trafficking and possession of firearms. So when I came home, I just wasn't willing to fall victim to a stereotype and go that route again. I was just done with it. So I just decided, you know, I'm going to find something I want to do and stick with it. Started working at a shop. I loved cars always. I always messed with cars when I was growing up. Yeah. And branched out on my own, and here we are. But, you know, all that to say, adverse circumstances in life can be a catalyst for success or an excuse to fail. And for me, I just kind of flipped it and used it as a reason to succeed instead of letting, like I said, falling victim to the stereotype or going back out there and being a statistic, which unfortunately a lot of young people these days are. It's hard to come back. You go down that road and you've been incarcerated, background or record, it haunts you, and you get on parole or probation, and you gotta maintain employment and pay fees and take drug tests and do everything right, or you go back to prison. And that's why we have such a high recidivism rate in this country, because there's really no way out for a lot of people, and it's very it looms over you. I can tell you from walking down 5 years of parole after I got home, the difficulties associated with it. And I wasn't perfect. I was blessed a time or two, but for the most part, I towed the line, and here I am today. I've been off a year in March, so you can do it. I'll just be the first to tell you, you can do it. It ain't easy, but you can do it. And prisons are overpopulated, overcrowded, and miserable. So if you want to go stare at a wall and be around a bunch of dudes, go to prison.
Have at it. Brad touched on it already with the UGK, but what do you listen to in your ride?
You know what? I find myself not listening to much of anything anymore. Sometimes I'll flip on 101, but I actually listen to some country too. We're in Nashville, why not? But I like the old school stuff. The new stuff, it doesn't really do it as much for me. I guess life's decisions and the paths I've seen, and the hurt and the pain that I've caused other people and myself. And sometimes I listen to it and I'll hear a good beat, but then if I dissect it lyrically, I start to get frustrated a lot of the time.
All right, so we probably already know the pros. You get your car fixed for pretty cheap, but what's some of the pros and cons of having your own business in your own auto shop?
The pros, it's making a living doing what you love, taking care of people, providing a service, helping people out, having the ability to do nice things for other people, giving people a good deal, controlling prices, So, we're not the biggest shop out here, but sometimes a lot of the times actually, I'm able to undercut dealerships and Firestones and places like that. We don't do any of that shady, ripping people off and overcharging and slinging parts at cars that don't need them, that type of shade tree mechanic stuff. Unfortunately, people out there do it, but we definitely don't. So try to run a clean business, take care of people, hanging out with athletes and musicians and people like that, and getting to drive around in cool cars. But cons, don't ever work on your friends' cars, because anytime you work on your friend's car, the most absurd problems manifest themselves. Stuff that never happens with a customer's car will always happen when you're working on your homie's whip. So,
like you put the radio in and the rear end goes out.
Exactly. Yeah. The engine blows up after you put a battery in. Stuff like that. It's just absurd. I've seen it all when it comes to working on friends' rides. So I try not to. I will, but I try not to, just because I swear it's just like a jinx or something. The stresses of owning a business, obviously, it's hard. We came out of a really bad economy. Fortunately, our first few years were real rough, but we've come up out of that and building clientele and taking good care of people and having repeat customers. The financial strain is always there, initially especially. But one con I would say, sometimes you start to take things for granted. I notice sometimes I'll have a frustrating day at work, and I try to always sit back and always think to myself, well, there's probably somebody within 100 feet of me right now that's worse off than me. I mean, really, there is. If you think about it, there's somebody in the next car that just found a bad news out, or a guy standing on the corner begging for change. So I just try to keep it perspective and live life, live life and not let life live me, if that makes any sense. This is a 55 Willys my grandfather had when I was a kid, so I bought it, restored it, kind of just in remembrance of him. We had unfortunately he died when I was young, but from all accounts he was a great guy, so he had these, he liked these. I ran across one and thought, well, I'll build one. And we frame off this one from scratch. I mean, refurbished every nut and bolt on. New interior, engine, transmission, transfer case, axles, diff, brakes, more than I can list. C10, 85 C10. My favorite truck. This is Chris Young. He's a country musician. It's a 5.7 Hemi car. We added headers, a tune, supercharged it, and then retuned it, obviously. It's back for, it's got a Santi wheels and grill, and it's back for a Brembo brake upgrade. So we're well over 500 horsepower in this thing now. So we got to get the brakes on par with the power.
Exactly. Gotta stop.
67 Impala convertible. This is mine. Ran across a great car. Couldn't resist.
It's all
Love the
original.
old ones.
You haven't touched it yet.
All original. Not gonna do anything to it. Just gonna leave it be. Doesn't really need much. Good summertime cruiser. That's a friend of mine, Skylark over there next to it.
So as a usual car lover, I'm flipping through the DuPont registry, and the December issue, you guys have a interview on here and a couple pictures. How'd that come about?
Wow, that was a milestone definitely in my career. DuPont is always a magazine that I admired growing up, saved up to buy. I remember it was like the most expensive magazine out there, so I had to allowance money or do some chores or whatever extra to afford it. But it was Steve Chapman approached us, who's the owner and CEO, about a vehicle that we had listed. Was an Audi RS7 that we built for sale, and that kind of spurred a conversation about the car scene in Nashville. And he actually came and visited our shop and was impressed, and we spoke at length multiple times. And then he offered us the opportunity to do an article and do a write-up on our shop. And so we of course jumped at that. I mean, it was just very flattering. Again, something that one of the most prestigious car magazines in the world. Yachting, it's a lifestyle magazine. They have a yacht edition, they have a plane edition, they have a private jet edition, they have a fine homes edition, and of course it all started with the cars. What an opportunity. We did a 4-page spread. We got another article follow-up coming out in the next few months. In the first one, we featured Jake Owen, Chris Young, and Cortland Finnegan. And we did photo shoots at their homes with some of the cars we've done for those guys. And they were all big shout out to those guys. Andrew Neighbor, Steve Chapman at DuPont, Jake Owen, Chris Young, and Cortland Finnegan for allowing us to use their homes and cars and taking pictures and just, really just, again, I mean, took my breath away to be able to have somebody of that magnitude come into my little shop and offer me the opportunity.
That's pretty awesome. You get a royalty check for that?
Not yet. We're in negotiations. They'll be hearing from my attorneys.
Awesome.
All these are, guys that I've worked with. The only one that we didn't actually do work for is Eli Manning. Unfortunately, I'm sure he'll show up one day and need something done. But everybody else, as you can see, they're autographed. A lot of them are personalized. Just kind of tokens of jobs we've done. And, we've got Unfortunately, we're running out of wall space. We've got several others that we're going to figure out how to get up, maybe put them up out there. But, you know, it's always nice to have people appreciate your work and show you, you know, when you're doing a lot of your higher profile builds with your, you know, ball players and musicians and things. I know that you saw the guitar on the wall back there. That's Jake Owen. We do a lot of work with him. Chris Young, a lot of people.
Y'all know how to contact you on social media. It's Unique Automotive _ Now, how do we get to your shop and get appointments set and get everything taken care of?
Well, you can follow, like you said, follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or my personal Facebook is Brad Miser, and then we've got Unique Automotive _ on Instagram. And then as far as setting things up to, you know, get some work done or come and see us, whatever you need, give us a call at 615-244-6873, or check us out, www.uniqueautonashville.com for our website. It's got all our information on. And then we're at 1414 3rd Avenue South, Nashville, Tennessee, 37210.
Good. All right, so we all know where to get your work done at on your vehicle. Bring it to Brad at Unique Automotive. Brad, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I just appreciate the opportunity. No free passes for coming out here and doing this docu for us. And, you know, hopefully this gets us some more exposure, brings some more y'all in, and look forward to seeing everybody. And I appreciate all the love, Nashville. You know, been here most of my life. Love this city. Love everybody around here. So let's keep it positive and rise above this shit.
And this is JB signing out. Drops mic.
Exit stage left. We're out.
Say you getting thought I'm trying to part with you. Oh, that's your best.